In this video, we are talking about my RaiderX build from Flux Defense. Coming up. So last week we did the first impressions on my RaiderX. In this video, we're going to talk about the build and the things that I used. First things first, we are clear. There's no ammo in either magazine. And YouTube, I am not selling anything. I am not being paid by any of these companies. So yeah. And if you're curious about any of the products that I used, I will put links in the description over on Rumble, not YouTube, because YouTube sucks. But if you want to find any of the links to any of the products on here, you can find them there. So the main two items, the chassis and the SIG P320. So we have the RaiderX chassis. This is an FDE, obviously, from Flux Defense. That ran me $555. That's with shipping and out the door. These prices are going to be rounded up to the nearest dollar, so it'd be like a couple of dollars less, but I'm just going to round them up just for ease of calculation. The P320 that I used came with a 4.7-inch slide and barrel. At the same time, I ordered the flat face trigger because the P320 that I ordered came with the curved trigger. I like flat face. This is not the skeletonized version. This flat face cost me $43 at Tombstone Tactical. The skeletonized one is like $62, and I didn't find it necessary to get the skeletonized one. You could also get an Apex, and I don't think that they're much more either. But this version came with the 4.7-inch slide and barrel, and that is because I wanted a slide to come near the end of the chassis and then add a comp onto it to bring it just past the end of the chassis. So the P320 and the flat face trigger cost me $500 from Tombstone Tactical. The barrel is a 5.5-inch threaded barrel from SIG, so it's actually a SIG barrel, and I bought that from Optic's Planet, and that was $180. The comp is the HC320XL from Harrington Arms. I did get the blemished one, although I don't know why it's blemished. I didn't see anything on it, any reason for it to be blemished, and that cost $80. So with the combination of barrel and comp, it brought the overall length just past the end of the chassis. I don't care for them when they stop prior to the end of the chassis, and that's not a complaint or a dig on Flux. That's more of a complaint on what combination of barrel and slide are being used. Now, if you're using a suppressor, that's one thing, or a comp to bring it towards the end, but when the whole setup stops before the end of the chassis, I personally, my opinion, I don't like it. The chassis couldn't be made any shorter and still be able to mount a light to it, so that is just fine. I chose to use a longer barrel and slide. So the funny thing is with a 5.5-inch barrel, it's longer than what a lot of PCCs come with, which is funny to me because it's a much smaller package. We'll continue on with the forward part of it. I did get some side rails here from Flux Defense. I have both of them installed. I didn't know if I wanted to go with the side rails here. They do have like a thumb rest back here. Or if I wanted to go with the other one, I can't remember the company, but they basically have like it looks more like a shelf where you put your thumb on top of. And a friend has that one. I'll stick a picture up here. I shot it with his, and now I have mine on here, and I actually like this one just a little bit more, pushing my thumb forward instead of resting on top and pushing down. So I kind of like this position just a little bit better. The charging handle is the top-mounted F10 charging handle. I wanted to have that just a little bit more ambidextrous so that if I happen to be shooting it left-handed, that I could still easily charge it with my right. I also wanted it to be just a little bit more slim. I'm sure that the rip stick, I think is what it's called, it sticks off to one side or the other. I'm sure it wouldn't stick off too much. That would probably be a little bit better, but honestly, grab and hold the side versus the top, I don't think it's that big a deal. Some people, when they're running it, might rotate it and then charge it like that. Or you can just leave it as is, and it's easy to come over the top and grab it. But I highly suggest a charging handle of some sort. There's a few different designs. You could do the Optics mounting plate back here and have charging handles like that, or this company makes the F10 or the ripstick, which sticks off to the side. But I suggest a charging handle. Trying to rack this thing without one is terrible. Since I can't use an Optic mounted to the slide with the Raider, at least without the chop that some people do, which I don't want to do that. Since it's got an Optics mount up here and I can't use an Optic mounted on the slide, I decided to save some money and go with the slide, the 4.7 inch slide without an Optics mount. With an Optics mount, it jumps the price up to $650. So I opted to save the near $250 and not get the Optics cut slide. The weapons light that I am currently using is the O-Light. I did try the TLR1 with the side-to-side rockers. So because of the grip on here, it's actually easier to activate the O-Light because you're just pushing in rather than trying to manipulate the switch and rock it one way or the other. So I can easily manipulate it with my index finger of my left hand or my thumb of my left hand. So that's why I currently have the O-Light on here. Oh yeah, and I guess I forgot some of these other prices. The side rails were $50. The charging handle was $95. And in that order, I did get a safety delete to delete one of the the right-hand side safety. I don't think I'm going to, or I know I'm not going to install it because it doesn't interfere. After shooting a friend's, I thought that it dug into my finger, or come on, it was a year ago that I shot his before buying mine. So I thought that it dug into my finger, and then actually manipulating this and using it, it did not. It's just fine. So I won't be installing the safety delete. But anyway, the safety delete, the charging handle, and the side rails all came to $160. That's with tax and shipping. The O-Light was $110 on Amazon. As of right now, I can put Amazon links, so that I can link in the description for the O-Light. They have an FDE version. They also have a black version. I thought that I ordered the FDE version, but obviously it's black, and there's enough black on here that I didn't really find the need to fix it. The last thing is the Optic. I was kind of going back and forth on optics to use. I'm a big primary arms fan. I like their 1X, their 3X, and I have one of their 5Xs with an offset red dot, and I really like that setup. So I decided to go with the primary arms 1X micro prism. This is the green reticle, but it also it's the Gemini reticle. So it's got 2 bullet drops in it. Whether that's necessary for something like this, I'm not sure, but since it's basically the same price, I figured I might as well get the one with the Gemini reticle. And the price for this was $240. That's with tax and shipping. If you wait till Primary Arms has a 12% off sale, they have them all the time, so there's no reason not to wait unless you're just that impatient, which I get. Also, you have a bunch of different options for mounts. So you have mounts you could bring it further back and closer to your eye. You could even mount them, flip them around and push the sight further forward. So I've seen people mounting their sights, their optics, like on cantilevers and pushing the sight forward. Well, with the 1X, it comes with the stuff so you could do that if you wanted to. I have it in a position that I like. I also like the height of it. So if I were to lower this to the lowest setting, then I'd be putting my cheek on the rails, which I don't think that I would enjoy very much. Yes, I have sharp jaws. So sharp jaws on metal bars, probably not the most comfortable in the world. And so the last thing that I did purchase was a 21 round mag. And that is because the P320 that I bought came with 2 17 round mags. So I wanted something with a little bit more pew pew capacity. I will most likely eventually get a couple of 30 rounds. So the total with tax and shipping and all those types of things is rounded up to $1,880. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how much that you might want to budget. You could possibly spend more or less depending on what optics and stuff like that, what accessories, what P320 you go with. You could easily spend more. Could you spend less? Possibly. You could go without the comp. You could save $100 there. You could not do the charging handle, save $100 there. You could go with just a Romeo 5 red dot and you could save $100 there. Yeah, you could save a few bucks, but you could easily spend more. But I do hope that that helps some of you out there that are thinking of building the Flux Raider. I definitely suggest it. This thing is so well designed. This thing is, it's pretty awesome. And so in the next video, why would anybody want to buy the Flux Legion from SIG? I don't know, but that's going to be in the next video. So that's it for this video, and we'll catch you on the next project. See ya.